has been yet another sighting of the creature that some people are now calling
Harry!
Harry? Since when does he have a name?
Since right now.
The average American family just got bigger.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to another classic film review. Today I'm taking a look at the 1987 family comedy Harry and the Hendersons. The film is co-written and directed by William Dear, and it stars John Lithgow, Melinda Dillon, Margaret Langrick, Joshua Radoy, Kevin Peter Hall, David Suchet, Donna Miche and M. Emmett Walsh. Now the film follows the Henderson family. They are out on a family camping trip. And whilst driving home from the trip, it seems they hit an animal on the way back. They get out to check, and it turns out this animal looks like it's a Sasquatch, a Bigfoot. So John Lithgow's character, George Henderson, decides to take it home on top of the car, thinking he's going to be rich. He gets it back home, doesn't realise that it's far from being dead. It wakes up and causes chaos in the family home, but ultimately ends up making a connection with the Henderson family. They then spend the rest of the film trying their best to protect Harry, as they name him, from these raging wild news stories going around about Bigfoot sightings and a crazed hunter called Jacques Lafleur, played by David Suchet, who is hell-bent on killing him, a Bigfoot. Right, what are my thoughts on Harry and the Hendersons? Well, I have to say, guys, this is one of my favourite films. This is one of those films that I can literally watch any time. You know, if it's on a Sunday afternoon somewhere, I will watch it. And then if it's on again the following Sunday on a different channel and I come across it, I'll watch it again. It's such an inoffensive, pleasant, charming, and wonderful film. It so deserved to do a lot better than it actually did. I mean, this could quite easily have been a misunderstood movie review, but I think most people agree who know of this film and watch this film regular that it's not misunderstood. It's a bloody good film. But I think the reason why this film didn't do well when it was released, it was it was a box office failure, and it was mainly down to marketing. They wanted to keep the whole Bigfoot thing secret as they could. So they didn't use him on any promotional material or very little in the trailer. It was just suggestions of a Bigfoot and this, that and the other. So therefore, there was no real hype for the film. Nobody knew what Harry were going to look like. Nobody knew anything, really. So when it was initially released, it didn't do well in America. Now in the UK, and I think probably most European, cinemas, or even international maybe, but definitely in the UK, it was renamed Bigfoot and the Hendersons, and he was used far more on the marketing material, Harry. The Bigfoot look of Harry and everything. So I suspect it did a little bit better internationally in Europe and on European markets. But yeah, they kind of dropped the ball a little bit marketing this one. Because it is such a wonderful and charming film that still puts a lump in my throat at the ending of this, where they're trying to get away from the hunter and stuff, and I think the effects from Rick Baker, which rightly won him an Oscar, are some of the best effects you will ever see. The effects for Harry are stunning, all practical. It just goes to show how practical outweighs CGI every single time. You look at Harry in this film, the effects for Harry, and you show me a CGI that's done it better, and I will say that you're lying, because it's just not possible. the range of emotion that they were able to get out of Harry's face is a testament to Rick Baker, but also, who never gets enough credit, God rest his soul, is Kevin Peter Hall, who played Harry. Now, if that name sounds familiar, he was also the Predator in the first 2 Predator films. He was actually a very, very talented, I don't know what you would call him, like body actor sort of thing. And he completely and utterly brought Harry to life. And you can see this height differences here. I mean, John Lithgow himself was 6'4". He's 6'4". Kevin Peter Hall 7'2", but apparently with the suit on, it took him up to about nearly 8 foot. But it's so beautiful, the film. I mean, it's all lovely and it's all jolly and it's all beautiful, but it doesn't really do anything if it's not funny at the same time, and it is absolutely funny. The scenes where, he's teaching Bigfoot to sit just get me every time. The scene with him burying the stuff in the backyard of all his hunting trophies and stuff is very funny. Trying to get Bigfoot to eat all these burgers to get him in the back seat, and he's taking the burger and flinging it away. He's all funny. There's just so much really to enjoy here with this film. It's light, it's completely harmless, it's a lot of fun. And when you consider everything, all the Bigfoot films that have been made, and there are some good ones out there. I've done a list of some of the best Bigfoot films. And if you're wanting scares, there are some Bigfoot films out there that'll give you that. But if you want my opinion, I don't think there's been a better version of Bigfoot put on screen than this film. Even though obviously he's not menacing in this film. Quite the opposite, in fact. So, I mean, it's just brilliantly cast. I mean, John Lithgow at the time obviously was well known. But he was mainly known at the time for doing villainous characters, and he went on to do more villainous characters. But I suspect, his performance here, is kind of what led him on in the 90s to things like Third Rock from the Sun and what have you. Brilliant. I mean, he's such a great actor, John Lithgow. He can do anything. Horror, comedy, drama, thrillers. I don't think there's anything he couldn't do, John Lithgow, in regards to a performance. And then you've got the great David Suchet playing a great villain here, the Hunter. And then you've got Donna Miche, who, again, wonderful actor in the 80s. It's just so enrichly casted, this film, that it just kind of feels like it's a normal kind of family comedy with Bigfoot. And that, as mad as that concept sounds, it absolutely works. Just had a thought. I'm sure they turned this into a TV show. In fact, I know they did. John Lithgow and stuff were involved. It was another matter of family. I'm sure they did. But it was nowhere near as good as this. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys, on Harry and the Hendersons. Is it something you've seen? You might not have even seen it. I don't know. But if you have seen it, please tell me your thoughts on it. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this wonderful 80s classic. And I'll see you here on the channel with plenty more content very, very soon.